Dobry den.
Dobry den, and welcome to our little adventure in Bulgaria, episode 3.
We've shown you around the house, we've shown you around the grounds. Now we're going to show you some of the stuff we've already done. We had a bit of a delay with the internet. We couldn't get it. It took us 6 weeks to sort out an internet connection. So we've got 6 weeks of stuff to catch you up on.
Which isn't quite as much as it sounds.
No, we haven't been quite that busy, but we won't cover everything in this episode.
No, we won't. Most of the stuff we've done so far has been research, about trying to find out where we get things, how we do things, and just general finding out where we are, really.
We've also been doing jobs around the house, getting it ready for winter.
And jobs that we've discovered have suddenly become quite urgent, as you'll see later on with Adam's guttering videos.
All the excitement.
All the excitement.
Yeah, so we've got the internet. Our delay on that was you can't get the internet unless you're a resident. You can't get residency unless you've got a bank account. And you can't get a bank account unless you've got a phone contract. Well, we had to sort all of those things out before we could get the internet.
And you can't get a phone contract until you've got a bank account. So
it's
there's
all
lots of going around in circles there for a while.
Yeah, which we did. But we now do have our bank account, we do have our residency, we do have our internet, but we haven't got a phone. Apart from our British phones, if you want to ring us, my number's in the description.
So the purpose of these videos is just to keep our family and friends updated with our progress here in Bulgaria, and also for us to have a record of what we've actually achieved, if we do manage to achieve anything.
Well, we have done stuff.
Yeah, Adam has done stuff, and I've done lots of gardening.
A lot of gardening.
The day we arrived, we got here I think about 7:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite dark. We unloaded our basic essentials from the van and then got carried away and decided we were going to unload everything because we were just a bit overexcited, I think. We did intend taking videos the day we arrived, but we didn't. Ended up doing them the next day due to light and wanting to get our heads down on the Friday night.
There was a lot to do in a short space of time before we could go to bed.
Yeah.
So we unpacked a lot of stuff, well, as you've seen in the video, and yeah.
Amazing amount of stuff we managed to get in Terry, who did a sterling job getting us across Europe.
Yep, he did his one job that he was bought for, and he continues to be of service. So.
And will do in the future when we convert him into our accommodation. So on the Saturday after we arrived, the very first full day we had here at the house, we had quite a torrential thunderstorm, I think.
Yes, it wasn't just rain, it was absolutely bucketing down, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. We showed up some flaws in our guttering.
Yes, we had a waterfall outside our bedroom window.
Which we thought that really needs sorting quite quickly. And not being certain how long we'd get till the next torrential thunderstorm, we decided that we'd make that our number one job.
Yeah. So we've got a short video of us repairing the gutter, removing the old one, putting a new one up.
Unfortunately, we didn't take a video of the torrential rain pouring out of the gutter this end, which was literally like a waterfall. Yes,
it would have shown the necessity of getting it done fairly quickly. This is the job for today and probably running into tomorrow. We've got this worn out guttering, which, as we've explained previously, is leaking quite badly from this end. The water's supposed to be taken to the far end and disappear off over the wall. The gutter itself is probably as old as the house, so it's in need of replacement. It's worn out. Here's another view of it. There's a bit of guttering underneath it to try and help with the water flow, but the best idea I think is to just replace the whole lot. Take it out, remove that metal brackets, the green backboard, which is also rotten, put a new board up, put new brackets up, new guttering. At the end of the guttering you can see this spout which takes the water away from the gutter. It pours the water literally over the wall, it runs away down the hill. This is typically Bulgarian, and you'll see it in pretty much every Bulgarian house you see. Inside the guttering itself you'll see there's a lot of debris build up. We've got to clear this out. The leaves don't help, but the standing water also highlights the problem. The water's just not running away. Here we've removed the guttering. It was a combination of some tin snips to cut the brackets, a bit of brute force. pulling and pushing, but eventually it came down. We've taken that away, stored it for use, maybe in a later project. We'll have to wait and see. But you can see now that we've got the board down, the extent of the problem. Some of this end board now is rotting. Some of the boards behind the green board are rotting. They'll all be replaced, but it's a job for next year when we finally get around to doing something proper with the roof. This year we're basically just trying to get the house watertight so that we can get through any bad weather that's thrown at us, and we'll look at it properly next year. We've removed all of the guttering now. We've removed all of the front board. We've started replacing the back board with this wood. We'll continue that line of wood along the front of the house to create a backboard for the brackets to go onto. We'll then measure the slope, put the brackets up and put the guttering in. Here's some of the water damage that we're contending with. That will be replaced next year when we come to do the roof. But for now we'll just make sure the tiles are in place and the water can't get through there. This shows some of the subsidence and damage that's been caused over the years by water, rot, just general old bits of wood. We will try and get those level. I'll lay the tiles along the front and make sure that they're watertight. These wires here are actually from an old telephone line coming from the pole in the street. The telephone line's no longer connected, but the cables still come to the house. I haven't removed them yet. I don't know if I'm allowed to. We've now got the backboard up completely. We've got to put the brackets on it, measure the slope, make sure the water's running away and down to the corner of the house. Once we've done that, we can put the guttering in and complete the repair. We've now got some of the guttering up. It is running away at an angle. We haven't quite completed it. We should finish it in the next hour and a half or so. But it's looking a lot better than it was. It should take all the water away. We've now completed the gutter. I've copied the Bulgarian style with a water spout over the wall. This should take the water away. The end one that you can see behind the new one, that will be removed once I get round to doing the end of the house and the guttering around there.
That was our other great discovery on day 2, was the number of friendly animals we had living in our house.
Yes, we met Jiminy.
Jiminy crickets everywhere.
Yeah. Mickey popped in.
Mickey popped in several places, in
Yeah.
the kitchen, a
In
couple
the
of times in the
bedroom.
bedroom. And we did have to perform several rescue missions transporting them over 1,000
meters from the house.
from our house.
Just to make sure they didn't know their way back.
And touch wood, we haven't had any since.
Not for a while. So I think maybe we've scared them off.
Yeah.
Just being here.
I think generally, once there's noise and light and stuff around a house, they tend to disappear, or certainly keep a much lower profile.
Yes.
Which is fine by us, as long as we don't see them regularly as we're going to bed. That's a good thing.
Yes, if they can stay out of the bedroom, that would be an advantage.
And the kitchen.
Well, yeah, and the bathroom. And the
So
hallway,
we brought loads
And
of
then the
tools,
and the bedroom.
but we bought very little furniture.
Lots of brewing stuff.
Adam bought all his hobbies with
Of course.
him.
And a drone.
And a drone, yeah. We did
3.
buy many things with him that were obviously essential to our first
Absolutely.
day's comfort here. We spent the first couple of weeks sleeping on an airbed, which was not good.
It was
Not good.
an experience.
And I think when we went out and bought our bed, that was just joyful.
It was nice to sleep on a proper bed again.
That's a bit of a tongue twister. I've had to do that 3 times.
Yeah. But that's getting cut, so.
So yeah, we got the bed in, and that made life a lot more tolerable.
Absolutely.
Since then, we've done quite a few things, haven't we?
Yeah, we got heating, we got the Petrica in.
We've got a wood-fired stove in, which also has an oven attached to it, so we can cook on it. We've had our house rewired with a lovely little man.
Alcon,
Or Alcan, we're not quite sure how you pronounce his name.
the Bulgarian electrician.
Who was great and
And
recommended...
speaks no English.
spoke no English at all, and recommended to us by somebody that the people that used to live here, Mike and Naomi, recommended to us in Targovishti, who was incredibly helpful as well on the phone, translating between us when we had questions or when we had something we wanted to change or where to move something to. But it all worked really well. He was incredible. I mean, I think we had the whole house rewired in 3 days.
3.5 days, yeah.
The state of the original electrics did leave a lot to be desired. We did find nails through wires. We found, I mean, there were 2 old ceramic fuses that came into where the electric came into the building that we had not a clue what would do if ever they went. Because we'd never seen anything quite like them before, had we?
They were typically Bulgarian, apparently.
We had wonderful retro light switches that you turned like a key.
Mm-hmm.
There was no flicking up and down. It kind of turned round and eventually the light came on.
If you were lucky.
Every time you turned the kettle on, everything else dimmed, all the lights dimmed. Yeah. But we now have a spanking new fuse box, which even tells us how many watts we've got coming in, with all sorts of... What else has it got on it? Oh, what? Volts. It tells us volts, not watts. I'm not scientific, because Adam will point out...
That's science.
That's science. He keeps telling me every time he fixes something.
Yeah.
Well, now I've lost my thread. Where was I talking about?
Where were you talking about?
Yeah, what was I talking about?
Electrics,
yeah.
So
anyway, they work. The electrics now work, and they feel a lot safer.
Yeah. You just keep that again, why don't you?
So what have our first couple of weeks' impressions really been like? Without doubt, for us, I think the biggest issue was definitely language.
Absolutely. It's very tricky when you go into a town and you don't understand anything anybody says to you.
As Adam quite often did in Liverpool.
So I was quite used to it, but Lynn was lost. I just smiled and nodded, which is wrong because you're supposed to shake your head for yes and nod for no.
Yeah. And that, even now, we're still struggling to do that. It's so ingrained to do it the other way around.
Although people who've lived here for years still struggle with that, so...
Yeah, and it gets really confusing when Bulgarians you're talking to realise you're English and then start trying to adapt their way to your way of thinking.
And you're not sure if they're saying no or
yes. So we end up
yeah.
just with lots of head wobbling. Language was definitely an issue.
Language was an issue.
Language is still an issue. But we are now we've got the internet back.
Yeah.
We are now starting to come to grips with that a little bit.
As you can tell by our greeting.
And Adam can count to 10.
I can. In English as well as Bulgarian.
But that is about the limit so far.
Well, it'll get there. And I can say Dobry den, Dobry utro.
Which is?
Good evening.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's good
morning.
Dobry večer.
Dobry večer is good evening, like I just said.
And Blagodaria, which is thank you.
Blagodaria, thank you. So, now that's just our Bulgarian translator.
Yeah, who wonderfully every time he moved from Alcan to Adam, used to go, so, Adam, and then go ahead to give the translation, which
Absolutely.
has become quite a thing in our house now. So, Adam.
So, over to me. Yes, what else?
The pros have definitely been the weather.
The weather has been...
The weather has been delightful.
Oh, it's wonderful weather. All through September, through October. We're now getting to November. Well, we're halfway through November.
Yeah,
now.
I think we've had our first really chilly nights.
And the leaves are coming off the trees and we've hit proper autumn heading towards winter.
Yeah, we've got loads of leaves.
Yes.
Which apparently, according to my daughter, is a really good thing because I can make leaf mould, which is gold dust.
Only takes 2 years.
Yeah, but we've got time, so we're going for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and as Lynn says, we have plenty of leaves. Well, we have plenty of trees.
And plenty of time.
Yes.
The other great thing is the house and its location.
Absolutely.
We love where we are. We love the peace and the quiet.
Mm-hmm.
We love the woodland.
Yeah, we're in a village called Makaria Polsko, which is in between Targovishti and Shumen. They're the two big, are they cities?
Nearest biggest towns.
Towns or cities? I'm not sure what they classify.
They'd be towns definitely under English.
Absolutely, yes. But over here, I think
they're fairly major here.
But we're kind of slightly nearer Targovishti than Shumen, but in between the two. But we're in a proper countryside village. Right on the very edge, we're the last house before you get to the fields.
There's loads of common land up behind us and some forest, which provides some lovely walks.
Absolutely.
Lovely views of the mountains.
And the village.
We're still trying to work out what mountains they are.
we haven't yet looked at
that up on the
Google
internet
Maps.
yet, but we must do that. It's one of the things we keep saying we're going to do, they're never doing.
But the the lack of noise is one of the highlights here.
Yeah,
Very rarely
really
do we
beautiful.
hear any traffic noise. Farmyard noise, cockerels, goats, the occasional cowbell, and chainsaws.
And there's a very vocal nanny goat somewhere
there
here.
is, yeah.
Who bleats got a very distinctive bleat.
Yeah.
I feel like I know her.
And during when we first got here in the warmer weather, we had crickets every evening, and birds waking us up. And yeah,
hundreds of
lovely.
birds here, loads. And they're tiny little things, a lot of them. And then something that a lot of birds that look a bit like tits but aren't.
No, we have a resident woodpecker.
At least one.
Yeah. Hear him at least 3-4 times a day, out the front on the walnut tree.
And black squirrels.
Black squirrels, yeah.
We've seen a few of those. We haven't seen any really nasty things.
No, haven't seen any snakes yet.
No snakes, despite the fact Mike did warn us we might have to see some on the property.
But they're probably hibernating, aren't they?
Yeah, we probably shan't see any of those till next year if they're around.
Yeah.
We fully intend to get a dog. We haven't got around to doing that yet. I think we just want to wanted to get the basics sorted in the house and get our heating and
get it livable, get ourselves sorted, and not have to worry too much about where's the dog gone now.
Yes. We do now have a flushing toilet, which is just joy. After 6 weeks of the porta potty.
Yeah, it got a bit tiring emptying that every couple of days. Add more chemical, off we go.
Just getting to know our house and getting to know how it works and how we're going to remodel it in the future. We found some lovely stone walls, which once we finish taking the plaster off those, we're going to look at just repointing and sealing rather than replastering, because they're just lovely.
Yes, the house is built with kind of stone foundations and stone walls, and then what they call mud brick on top, and then that's rendered. So the mud brick will plaster over the top of, but the stone foundation or the stone walls will be pointed, possibly varnished, just to bring the colour out.
I think just seal them.
Left on display.
Yeah, because they're really nice. Most of the house does need, every room really needs total refurbishment.
Oh yeah.
We've got floors to put in our what we use in this room, which we're using as our living area, and concrete floors to lay in some of the other areas as well, I think. Yeah,
I think there'll be a lot of concrete being laid, just to level up the floors, get it sturdy, rodent proof and level, and
I think a lot of the major building work now we will be doing next year. We won't be doing it this year because of the cold. We don't want to be left with half a house.
Our priority was to be ready for winter.
Yeah, just so we could get through winter, and also by living in the house for 6 months, we'll get a even better feel for how we want it to be at the end of the day.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, Adam.
Linda.
That's about the end of our update for this week.
Are you telling me or telling them?
I'm telling you now, that's about the end of our update for this week.
You can't do that again.
Why?
Because I was laughing all the way through it.
Okay, you're allowed to laugh.
I'm allowed to laugh, yes,
Yeah.
but it
Not
just looked like I was a
often,
bit of a maniac. Like I'm losing it. I'm stuck in about 7 weeks with Lynn and she just doesn't stop talking. I don't know what's going on. I can't take it anymore. Let me out! Anyway.
Okay, so where have we got to?
I don't know. We were leaving. We were leaving. We were telling them we were leaving. We're not leaving. We're not leaving. We're not going anywhere.
So this is our end. This is coming to the end of our first chatty update.
Yes.
We're going to try and do this once a week.
We're going to try.
We're going to try. Some weeks we may have nothing to talk about other than the fact we managed to light the petrol every day.
But then you can sit and look at us, so that's okay.
Which will be great for our kids.
Yeah. Because I'm sure they're missing us.
They are missing us, I think.
Well, maybe.
Please feel free to leave comments below.
Keep them nice.
Bearing in mind my children are reading this, so don't leave anything too nasty.
And we're very sensitive people. So.
Adam's very sensitive about comments, especially about anything to do with his looks, his eyesight. He is wearing glasses.
Pretend you didn't notice.
Only because he can't see where the button is on the camera.
No, yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you come back and
Absolutely.
watch next week's.
Yeah. And now Lynn will say goodbye in Bulgarian.
Do skoro.
Do skoro. We're back.
I need to apologise for any poor editing.
Any poor editing or production values?
Because this is our first one, and we're probably really shit at it.
And I'm not yet used to the software, but I did put some music in just for you, Nick, just at the beginning there.
As requested, last.
And we know you like a brass band.
We do know you like a brass band.
So enjoy.
Enjoy. Bye.
It was nice to sleep on a proper bed again.
It was really good.
It was nice to sleep on a, oh, for goodness sake. Absolutely. It's something like, wasn't it? Move your foot. Stop wobbling the camera.
Yeah, we haven't got very solid floor in here. It does move.
You don't need to explain, I'm going to cut this bit out.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so.
Well, can you stop wobbling the camera then, because you're doing this?
Yeah, we
on
haven't
the
got,
board.
If the camera does move, we haven't got very sturdy floors in this room.
You could move your foot off the board.
I'll move my foot off.
There we go. No, it won't move.
What would I do without
Absolutely. I'm invaluable. Yes, so do we want to do that bit again?
Not really.
No? Okay.
I think you can cut it as it needs cutting.
I will cut it as it needs cutting. And when you're talking, try looking at the camera.
I'll try to keep
rather than doing all that.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'm going to stop it and start it again.